Okay, so after a long, arduous trek through the jungles of Chult, you guys finally made it back to Port Nyanzaru after so long. After approximately about 30 to 40 days, if our friend the Bard Kithri had got it right. And speaking of, you'll see Kithri in the thumbnail art, but I want to show them off because the art for Kithri is lovely. Ah, bless little halfling hearts. But yes, you guys are back in Port Nyanzaru, and between you, there's a few things we need to take care of. Now, before I get started on anybody else, I would like to deal with the ranger between us. And in order to do that, I am going to need to create a new voice. No, I'm going to go to the general voice chat, the separate one, while you guys stay here. And he and I are going to talk something in particular and secret, okay?
Yeah.
Alright, brilliant. Ranger, kindly go to the general voice chat now for me, please. Okay, so we are separate from everybody else here, Mr. Ranger. You want to deal with finding a member of the Zentium.
Yes.
Yes. So, with Port Nyanzaru being a place of hired muscle rather than a official, like, decreed set of laws that people need to live by, living by their own, haphazard way, you figure that the best place for you to begin your search will be somewhere on the docks, somewhere outside the city, or outside a city perimeter to the best of your ability.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me set up here so I can send rolls to you if I need to.
Yeah, no worries.
How do I set it up so it sends just to you? Is that on the character sheet to GM, right?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
You can
do a quick test roll.
Yeah, certainly.
We're just gonna do a.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. So you see that. Good. Okay. Yeah. So I want to go to the docks and find. I'm sure I won't have trouble finding. I know what the members of my guild look like, and I want to share some information that I found out about the frost giants being here, and how the you'll have to forget. I did watch the session from last time because I missed, but you have to forgive
No,
me.
don't worry. You were essentially there in character, so
yes.
Yeah, all you did is just update yourself. The name of what?
There was a name that the frost giants said, like if we run into. I think they said if we run into.
Yeah. So
we were supposed to say
in case you ran into any other frost giants, the name you need to remember, the leader to say that you're working on behalf of, allegedly in quotation marks, is a name called Drufi, Drufi, a frost giant leader S. Now,
Drufi's a frost giant leader, and that's who we're working for, quote unquote.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so I want to find somebody and then share that information.
Yes, but you want to do that within your network of black network people, aren't you?
Yes, of course.
Right, and of course, they are on the hunt for Artist Kaimbo as well, someone that you have been tasked to find. Now, you have been in Port Nyanzaru for a little bit, but when you first came in, you weren't on the lookout for Sentia members. You hit the road straight away, and that wasn't your fault. That was because pressures and stuff forced that way to you. But you now are heading out that way with some time on your hands, just to meet up with a faction that maybe you should have. You don't know who to expect, but you figure with this place being a port in particular, they're going to make themselves fairly known in the area. Outside the city walls, if you look to the bottom left, there is a place right behind where you aim to go called Tiriki Anchorage.
Okay, I see it.
Yes. This is the place that houses the dinosaurs that are bred and sold here. But what's more than that, this seems to be the lower part of the city, outside the city walls, as you can see. So this makes it an ideal place for skulduggery to go on.
Okay.
Yeah. So, explain to me how you're going about hunting for your people. How does a member of the Zentium find out another member of the Zentium? How would that look?
Well, I assume we all have a similar dress that we wear, so I can obviously look around and try to find somebody. But assuming that it's going to be shady dealings, I would assume that probably sometime around dusk, I would be able to look around maybe some dark alleyways and see if I can see any of the members there, or if there's kind of like a black market network. I would be able to find them through those means as well.
Yeah, okay, so you're aiming for a black market network, a black market in particular.
Well, that's where I would assume I'd be able to find these guys, because they would probably be, doing underground type things. Kind of below the radar.
Right. I am just looking up for... Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Just looking up for a little bit of information. So, you wander around, and you eventually do get to what you imagine is a black market dealing of such. You're not quite sure what is being sold. It looks like horns of some particular animal, and there's some people that are quietly doing some deals that all are being done in the form of hand gesturing and sharing of coin through handshakes and whatnot. People aren't being loud or noisy here. They're all being pretty quiet and whatnot. And nobody in particular is making so much of a fuss. But you reckon you're on the beginnings of a black network here.
Okay. If I see people that are kind of involved with these types of shady dealings, can I kind of inquire about them? If there's any members of the Zentarum, I think I'm saying that correctly, around?
I would pronounce it Zentarum, but it doesn't actually matter what I call it.
I think it's like Zenitarum, something like that.
Yeah, whoever. But yes, so you have that little bit of a language barrier to begin with first, but there is one language that's always spoken.
Thieves' cant.
Very, very wise.
So, I do have the Thieves' cant language, so let me use a little Thieves' cant action and see if I can go up to somebody and say, there's a lot of sheep around here, but I'm looking in particular for the wolves in sheep's clothing.
Oh, that's pretty awesome, actually. That's pretty awesome. And the first guy you speak to, you can recognize as like a old timer who's basically a spy / information trader. When you approach him with such language, what he does is he raises a grizzled mahogany hand up and points towards a nearby building. When you go to this building, you see that building has on it a couple of scribbles, and when you turn your head to the side, you can make out the thieves' cant written there, and basically there's a whole string of wording and such that leads you one dot to the other. Do you follow it?
Yes.
Okay. So eventually, as you mingle your way through here, you go to the quieter parts, and at this point, you start to get towards the farms that house some of the dinosaurs around. And the last little note seems to take you to one of these empty paddocks that would otherwise hold a stegosaurus. Empty and not repaired in any way, or something like that. And it's in no way repaired or whatever. But right, excuse me. I've lost my train of thought there for a second because there's a certain background noise that's going on that's really disturbing me. That's fine. Okay.
There was an empty paddock with which used to hold a triceratops that I was following to.
Yes, so when you get to this paddock, when you turn around, there's already some shady figures that are behind you.
I will do my thieves' cant greeting.
they will do.
Kind of like saying hello.
Oh yeah, so these two, just these two, but these two will do their faves cant greeting, which is to stick a knife towards your face, as they basically seem to be insinuating that you start handing over your coins first.
Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a thieves' cant greeting back at them. That would say, that would be unwise of you, because I have snipers on the outside of town with 7 bows trained towards you, and give a deception roll.
Yeah, alright, sweet. Oh, so, they will, take that as something serious, because what I will allow you to do is I'm going to allow you to also have sorted out your own hand crossbow in the meantime. So, on top of what you've just promised, you have your own, which has a crossbow for each of them that are on their way to you. You know? So it's
Okay.
like a Texas stick 'em up, and you brought a gun to a knife fight, is what I'm saying. And you got
Okay,
one for each of them. So they will just quietly turn to each other, and they will sheathe their daggers, and then they go. Well, basically, you know, the thief network is all about looting and robbing where you can, but at the same time, when you're in the presence of somebody superior in some ways, report. So in this case, these two come out with unbroken common that you can recognize as they go. Well, there's a very thin one that is a bit like a, you know, like how you would describe a rat-like person, wiry, energetic, a bit hunched over as he pulls back the cloak, and he's just like, "And what business you got coming all the way out here for, yeah?"
I'm looking for other members of my faction. They might look like me, but I'm on a very important mission for the underground network here. Have you seen them around?
The two have a little laugh at each other, and they go, "Don't know what high up you thought you were going to be speaking to, but I be one of them. And I be the other," says the other voice that doesn't reveal their face yet.
I'm gonna insight on that to see if they're telling the truth.
They are indeed telling the truth. You figure that if they weren't, then maybe the showdown that you promised them was going to happen. But no, you both recognize each other as murderers and thieves and underground people to a point where, yeah, you're in the right place and you're talking to the right people.
So do I recognize them as just common thieves or members of the Zenitarum?
So seeing your, like, lack of, are you really these people? These guys, pull up their sleeves to reveal a symbol of a serpent with wings chasing down a sun, which of course is the symbol of the Zentium, as they have these as tattoos on their forearms. That
Okay.
good enough for you?
Very good, brothers.
Yeah, they slide down their sleeves in a sudden movement as they go, "Well, out for it. What bring you down here this night?"
Well, I spent the last several fortnights in the jungle, and I have some information to report. Who's running the operations here in Cholt?
In the cult of Chort. Brilliant.
Right.
And they go, "Oh, that'd be way too easy to tell you. Still, if you want to meet the boss, we're gonna have to gag you and tie you around."
I don't think that's gonna happen. So you're gonna have to send this information to him, and if he wants more information, he'll have to come see you.
We ain't doing jack. If you mean to come talk to a superior, you're gonna deal like all the rest of us do, and that's get blinded, gagged, and taken somewhere that you won't know where is. And I ain't no messenger on your pardon.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, very well. Let me just grab my things that I left from behind the shack here, and I'm gonna kind of step behind the shack and kind of prep my gear to go with them. And what I'm gonna actually do when I do that is assume that I'm out of line of sight from them as I kind of step around the corner, and I'm going to take one of my short swords and kind of lean it up against the building, maybe hide it a little bit in some leaves. That way, in the event that I go missing, one of the party members would recognize that as my sword, kind of leave a trail if I need to.
So, there aren't leaves. There is, however, straw and animal dung. And there's more dino shit than there is straw. So I leave this to you.
I will put the sword in the dino shit then, with kind of like a little bit of the hilt sticking out.
Brilliant. Excellent. Fantastic. Alright then. So by the time you turn around a corner, I'll
drop a couple bolts there too, because then they'll definitely know it was me.
Okay, yeah. Do you leave your silvered arrows?
I don't have those. Those are actually with the barbarian.
Ah, okay then. So yeah, the moment you turn around, you're basically dropped with a punch from one of them, as you're just so taken aback that you are put out flat cold. And now, I'm going to jump back to the other chat, and we're going to catch up with the others and see what they get up to, okay?
Okay.
Okay, we're back. So, we dealt with some stuff. But in the meantime, your ranger friend says that he has some business to take care of. He's got a new crossbow he's going to have to go deal with, a hand crossbow, rather. And in that time, you guys are welcome to deal with all your other stuff. Now, when you consider back your position with the death curse, you realize really that your trip into the jungle hasn't given you any leads or helped you make much headway. So you are in need of some particular advice and guides. And after you had spent an evening with Wakanga Otamu, you checked out his library and there was a reference to Saja Nebaza, a Naga over in the site of Oralunga in the western part of Chult. This Naga has a trial that whoever so passes will then receive great wisdom from her behalf.
Right, so we definitely weren't planning on heading that way.
But before you do that, you may have some hesitation into lunging back in the jungles. You had just gotten back into civilization, and for the past month and a bit, you've been out in the field. It's such heaven. You can actually eat prepared food rather than just how the jungle gives it to you. You all had some various cases of some horrible disease and what have you. And yeah, you can just enjoy life in civilization for a little bit before you have to head back out into the savage wildness of the jungle.
We're actually limited on time, though. We need to get this quickly.
You are quite right. You are exactly right, because your commissioner, Sindra Sylvain, is dying at the moment, and she does not look good at all.
So I think we're just going to try and find a guide and do a bit of shopping and then get straight back out there.
Right. Needless to say, there's always some dinosaur racing going on, should you want to take part in it. I think
our first order of business was asking around to see if we could find a golden pin. See if we could help our stone brethren.
A golden needle. And Wakanga Otamu did say that there was a lead that he could take you to. Over in this district here, is where there is a few bits and pieces of fine jewelers. It's a jeweler's market. And here is where you could get a fine accessory, like a diamond brooch and what have you. So perhaps on commission, a golden needle could be fashioned, and with you guys bringing the raw gold nuggets in order to be, crafted out of, this could very well be, sorted here at the jeweler's market. Somebody could make this happen for you.
Cool, let's head off there.
Yes,
Do we need one needle for both guys, or one needle each?
You'll need 1 needle for each guy.
Cool.
Okay. And we also, you said it was the jewelers, right? So we also need to sell some gems for some extra gold.
Mm-hmm. So, when you head over to the, when you head over here, there's plenty of people bustling about, some heavy, hard-hitting guards monitoring some of these tables, and it's exactly like the Hobbit Desolation of Smaugor, Battle of the Five Armies, where you just see these people dipping into hands of pure, like, white diamond dust and what have you, as this is just, like, just on display here with very rare gems and dust of gems going around the place. So, who do you approach, basically?
Well, we should probably, the 2 main people we should probably talk with would be a particular jeweler who might work with diamonds in order to sell the diamonds to them, and the second person we probably need to talk to is a goldsmith.
Very, very good. So the diamond seller is not hard to find. You get to the nearest guy, and he's right there, seeing some people approaching. He goes, "Ah, welcome, welcome, welcome. I see we have a few far travelers here. So, does any of our fine, fine riches interest any of you, lovely ladies?" He says, directing to Kefri and Brightheart.
No, we are here to sell.
Oh, wonderful trade, wonderful trade. Let's see what you have there, then.
Who has the gems?
I go ahead and I pull them out of my pack. 2 diamonds that are worth 500 gold pieces each.
Yes, yes, absolutely exquisite. Now then, he looks at the gems over, and he pries his eye very carefully. He gets out, of course, a bit of, like, in spectacles, and then he goes, no. See here? And he puts, like, the point at the bottom of the gem to you, as he goes, nah, fake gems, fake diamonds. No, not gonna trade any of that here. Think you take me for a fool? No. I would take these glass orbs from you for like 10 gold pieces or less. Anybody is welcome to roll insight on that.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna roll insight.
Yeah.
Don't ask me though, because I got a negative on that.
Yeah, anyways. Brightheart, so you're just like
there you
right
go.
out the door, like, listen, buddy, don't bullshit me. This is Horde of a you know he's bullshitting off the bat, and he's doing a terrible job at it.
Yeah, I'm not really into people who lie to me, so maybe we'll just take our business elsewhere.
Wait! I'm sorry. I didn't look at the gems very good. I apologize. I'm very, very sorry. I see now at the bottom of the gem. Yes. It was my mistake. Yes, these are worth very good money. 400 gold pieces each.
I think we can do better than that.
Oh.
Give us 600.
Well, roll me persuasion. Oh, Kefri!
No.
As he goes, I was sorry before, but I mean it. I mean 450. 450. Final offer. 450 for each gem.
Make it 550.
Nope.
We will make you our. Next time we come back, we'll make you our main dealer. You'll make a lot of profit offers.
Oh, Todd.
We are adventurers. We go out to the jungle often.
And adventurers die often in the jungle. There's a combination going there.
Who knows what we might find?
But that's a good. Very
Maybe
well.
Come back with a dragon's sword this time.
I agree if I get that in writing.
I can certainly do that.
He snaps his hands together and he brings out a young porter, a Chorten boy with a thick turban on, as he turban, a head wrap sort of thing going on, as he quickly brings out a book, and the gentleman, the guy there, pieces out a bit of parturated, I forget the word, but it's what you use to get like lots of holes in the page. He brings out one of those, and he already begins. Thank you, perforated paper, and he already begins to write his name. That I, Zikanga, do hereby claim all soul gems, a monopoly over diamond gems with adventuring crew, and he leaves a blank line for you guys to sign.
Did we ever name ourselves?
No, you have not. About time you did.
Probably should.
Otherwise, I'll name you Tropic Thunder.
Sounds like a porn name.
You never seen that bad movie?
No.
Oh, it is terrible.
Yeah. Yes, it is. But you guys need something to fill in here. Well, by all means, discuss it.
That might have to be a separate discussion.
Well, that discussion is happening now, I guess. Time to think on your feet. Go on, guys. Imagine a name.
Scorned by poison or something like that. I don't know.
Sworn by poison?
No, scorned poison or something like that.
Ooh, actually, that's a cool name. That is a cool name. That is a cool name. I like that name.
Yeah, let's go with that then.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Brilliant. Fantastic. So you guys label yourself Scorned Poison. A teenage punk band, if ever I heard it, but it's still cool. In fact, you guys, maybe Kifri, since you're signing this, somehow you have a personal vendetta against grungs. Somehow, for some reason. So you end your signature for Scorned Poison with a grung being beheaded, just in a small little like clip art level, you know?
I like it.
Definitely, yeah.
Brilliant. And you dot the T, sign it, and he goes, "Ah, fantastic, wonderful. Well, Scorned Poison, I am happy Zikanga is willing to always be at your service when it comes to rare gems. And as promised, allow me to pay you what I owe." And he pays you the sum of 1,000 gold pieces, but he pays through 100 Illyrium pieces, due to you guys having handed over those 2 diamonds. As he goes, wonderful, wonderful dealings, wonderful deals.
Should be 1,100.
Yeah, I think it was 550 that we agreed
Yeah.
on. As the part of our exclusivity deal.
Someone want to do persuasion or deception on that, as he did agree on 500 each.
No, I said 550 and he agreed to that.
Oh,
Definitely did.
he was
It was part of our deal of being his exclusive dealer.
Hey, I thought that was taking it up from 450 to 500, but no, you get a whole extra 50 out of it. So sure, fine, 1,100 gold pieces, otherwise known as 110 Illyrium pieces, for you guys then.
Excellent.
Cool. Here's to a long business relationship then.
Yeah, he snaps through his little porter again, as he tells him to open up a casket of jet, as he needs a drink.
Now, was that contract for just diamonds or was it all gems?
All gems, all gems.
All gems. We do have some other gems actually.
Ah.
Smaller ones, not as valuable, but still worth some extra money.
Trade diamonds is his forte, but all other gems he will trade in. So yeah,
We do have 3 blue quartz rings that are 10 gold pieces each.
So he will buy them all off you for the price as listed and no higher.
Okay, that seems Fair, an extra 30 gold pieces into that.
And he will buy all pieces of jewelry that you guys don't want to wear yourself.
Yeah, did we have any more than that?
I don't think we want to sell the Ring of Poison Resistance. That's too valuable.
No, definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the only gems that we have to sell.
Yeah, very well. So, once your business is finished with Zikanga, what do you guys get up to?
Oh, we did need to find the goldsmith next.
Yes.
Could we ask him if he recommends anyone?
Oh, yes. Actually, he doesn't look like much, but my porter here does do some of the smithing for some of our gift work. And the young boy nervously comes out and he does bow to you guys respectfully. He's very shy, it does seem. But he goes, don't let that shyness fool you. He is a artisan above all others.
Can we see some samples of his work? As what we need must be very finely wrought.
Of course. And he pulls out some of the boy's work. What you could see is like some figurines of lattice work made out of like strips of gold and with few little bits of gold and silver, to some brass, but mostly in the gold and silver area. Some of them looking like grungs, just the head of a grung with some little tiny ruby eye sockets right there. There's also various other stuff like some of the Stegosaurus and Tyrannosaurus Rex that you've seen around the place, all done and fashioned with sculpted metalwork.
So I'll turn to the party and ask, what do you think?
We should. Does anybody perhaps have any insight into smithing that they could use to?
I will allow anybody who has proficiency with smithy tools to make a check.
Yeah, is that anybody?
Nope, sadly not.
Not me.
Well then,
Definitely
none
not.
of you can make an opinion on these, I guess.
So do we even know? I'll ask him if he even knows how to make that particular item.
Oh
Golden
yes.
needle.
Yeah, describe to him what we need and see if it's something that he can do.
And that it would be needed to would need to use it to depetrify some people.
So, from what you gathered in Volus Guides to Monsters, the Golden Needle rule is basically unheard of by locals. It's only ever, like, theorized by Volo himself. And as for the Golden Needle, he just basically says, the boy is younger, and so hasn't learned, like, Northerner Common. So with that, the guy, Zikanga, says, show him an object, he'll recreate it. You have my word, he says proudly. So, do any of you have a needle between you?
I think there's one that comes in the Adventurers pack, isn't there?
Oh?
I have one actually for the sailor pack that comes for.
Oh yeah, for sewing up sails.
Mm-hmm. I will show him that needle then.
Brilliant. That will do exactly the piece. And Zikanga looks at it, and in his head he thought needle meant something else. But looking at it, he goes, needle! You want that made? Huh. Well, excuse me, not me. I'm not one to judge, but very well, very well. He kind of rubs his hand like, oh, this will be sweet. As he goes,
Okay, but
oh yeah, go on.
I'll say to my party, I'm going to ask, does the book actually say that there is any kind of other properties besides just being gold that we need to know about?
So, there is nothing the book suggests other than a gold needle. That's just the one line to it that says, a golden needle can be used to cure petrification as a little sticky note that's added in your copy of Volus. After that, there's nothing else.
That or we need to get a scroll of greater restoration.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should give it a try.
Well, first we need to find out how much he's going to charge us to do that.
And so, Zikanga's like, Ah, well, firstly, do you have the ore to smelt down for us, or do you need to buy that off me?
We do have the ore.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. In that case, I will simply be charging you for commission, which, in this case, for such a artisan little piece of work, something along the lines of it will be a custom mold, and it'll be fine work. It's got to be very small, so I will say for the work, yeah, it was something around about 50 gold pieces.
For 2 of them?
No, for each one.
But if you're making a mold,
Oh, you know what? I will make you a deal. Yes, 2 for the price of 1. I will make you that deal. Since we have a contract now, eh?
So 50 gold for 2 of them?
Yes.
That sounds like a reasonable deal.
anybody in the party object?
Nope.
I don't.
No.
We'll just take it as a yes for the ranger who's not here. So
Yes, wonderful. And he will happily take that 50 gold off you, and you go, the work will be finely tuned, but I could tell that you may be off anytime soon, so I guarantee you, my friends, we will have this ready for you by tomorrow.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Pleasure doing business with you. Absolute pleasure. And please remember Zakanga the next time you need to sell any gems.
Oh, we certainly will.
And immediately then, a very fancy, what you can imagine merchant prince, but this time a princess rather, a merchant princess rather, comes by. She seems to be something of a older woman, as she's got some tied back hair going on, and she's simply saying, how's trade today going, Zakanga? And he replies, wonderful, I've made a new business partner. And she goes, anybody worthwhile? And she looks around to you guys and goes, well, I recognize you all. You're some of the newcomers that have braved the jungles and made it out alive. Very fine work, I gotta say. Not many come back from out there.
Well, we're a cut above everyone else.
Oh, and not one to trim words. I like it. I certainly like a woman with more spirit than her size lets on.
Well, you have to when you're a halfling.
Indeed. So then, where might you all be venturing next? Just something I can tell to my other merchant princes. I can have the privilege of saying I've gotten to hear your exploits.
We are not decided yet.
Well, please make sure that you know that those of the Merchant Square will always be at your disposal. I hope Zakanga wasn't giving you too much of a difficult time making your transactions now, was he? And Zakanga is noticeably sweating a little bit under this.
nothing we couldn't handle.
Well done. You gotta make sure you have your own back in Cholt. It's a dangerous place all round. But if you've got the spine for it, you can become prosperous here. Anyway, with that being said, if you guys have no other business here, time to get on with your next task and whatnot.
Well, I want to buy more insect repellent.
I believe that
Maybe
was
some more
our
rations.
Yeah, we need to get. Well, don't we have the ability to make berries, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's what we've been going by. So yeah, just insect repellent for sure. Then
Insect repellent, yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
so
I'd like to get some crossbow bolts as well.
yes, so you can buy crossbow bolts as they are in the player's handbook. You can buy insect repellent quite easily from the same place you got before, never running out. I will just have a look at excuse me.
I'll buy a couple of scimitars as well.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Keep in
those
mind your
bottles
carrying
match.
capacity, but for your insect repellent, so you can get a block of incense that you can burn for 8 hours, or you get a salve which you basically rub over yourself, which costs 1 gold piece and contains 20 applications. I think it's worthwhile you buy the salve, which is the
That's
sun
what we
cream.
bought last time. So
Yeah.
I'll buy 3 of those.
Oh wow! So you basically buy 60 days worth of insect repellents, basically.
Yeah, no telling when we're gonna be going back into civilization. So
Yep, very true.
Always
Very,
like
very
the-
true.
always like to be prepared.
I'll buy the same amount.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Now, how we found a place to sell that sells healing potions?
So you want a healing potion? You have to go to Wakango Otamu. And you know his prices are exorbitant, but he has the literal monopoly around here. If you don't like it, you're gonna have to go to another country.
What were his prices?
So, yeah, very good question. Very good question.
It was 80 for a healing potion.
That doesn't sound wrong.
How much?
80.
It sounds like 80. Yes, it was. So a typical healing potion was 80. A uncommon healing potion, so the next one up, was 300. And he was selling spell scrolls of 1st to 2nd level.
We probably could do
Yeah,
a couple.
that's way too much.
Yeah, I don't know.
Keep in mind that you're not spending your money on much else. You'll have plenty left over.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, that's wrong of me to say. You still have a guide to sort out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Well, first we should probably get the scimitars for our bard who needs them.
Yes,
Yeah,
so...
I picked those because we're wandering around.
Yeah, as you are getting these scimitars, you do notice that there is some interesting weapon on display, something you haven't encountered before in your travels. And I'm hunting for it now. Buying a special item. Yes, so there is a weapon called the Waikla, or Laikiwa. Oh, it's pronounced right here because I'm an idiot. Yikulawa. Likua. It's a simple weapon that's traditional for Chorten warriors. It consists of a 3-foot-long staff with a steel blade up to 18 inches long that seems to travel along the side of the wooden shaft. It costs 1 gold piece and does 1d8 point of piercing damage on a hit. And it has got a thrown property for it because it's very well balanced.
That sounds like a really good weapon.
Yeah, and it has a thrown property, so you could use it as a javelin.
Yeah, the range is about 10 to 30 feet, so not as far as a javelin. But in close quarters, you can just throw that out ahead of you if you're just that bit short of your running distance.
What's it classified as a weapon?
So, because of... well, it's a simple melee weapon. If you do not have proficiency in a simple melee weapon, then you are not proficient with this weapon.
I'm gonna look.
Pretty sure all of our magic casters should be proficient with simple weapons at least.
And I can use a dagger.
If you can...
Or short sword.
So there's a difference between being proficient with a dagger and being proficient with simple melee weapons,
I
plural.
have a short sword.
Yeah,
No,
it would say in your class, I would think.
Yes. Or background, but yes. Or race even for that matter. So, I imagine everybody is proficient with, so we're good. We're good, you know? And yeah, I believe it is just on the strength property. It is not a finesse weapon.
Okay.
So,
So-
you pick one of those up.
Yeah, I'll pick one of those up.
1 gold piece.
Okay.
Brilliant. And yeah, this is like the traditional Chorten weapon to be used around here. Right, so
Different, you should pick one up as well. 1d8 damage is a lot of damage.
well, it's good damage. It's not a lot, but it's good.
Well, for a simple melee weapon is pretty good.
I suppose you are right, actually. I did dismiss that quite quickly.
Yeah, it's a good weapon for any of our spellcasters.
Yeah, indeed.
I think I'll stick with dual wielding. A couple of scimitars.
I wouldn't be proficient with it.
My weapon is my mind.
Are there any other interesting weapons or weapons that aren't like your just traditional like base level?
You type the name of that weapon in chat.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. Whoop. Okay. Buying a special item. Yoink. Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
No worries.
Alright, I think our next order of business is finding a guide.
Yes, so everybody is available with the exception of Stormfang.
For obvious reasons.
Yes, as she has been missing in action for quite a while now. She hasn't returned back since you guys left. But yes, in terms of finding a
Don't we
guide,
still have the handouts somewhere for the available guides, or no? Oh, yeah, here we go. Port Nyanzaru guides.
yes.
Oh, but that's just Azaka.
Okay.
I think this is the one we found.
Okay, yeah. So, yikes.
Yeah, that's the only guide we actually found. 'Cause once we found her, we went ahead and took her.
Okay, brilliant. Then,
We
yeah.
didn't shop around too much.
All right, I will go through the handouts. So there is a guide called Eku that says show to players. Yeah, there's a post that says, while the lure of pillaging the antiquity of Chult is a temptation, I appeal to those who find fulfillment in doing actual good in the world. I seek to rid the jungle of evil. There are many ruins and ancient temples that must be reclaimed, so that the spirits of nature can return to their sacred places and live in peace. There are evil impostors who seek to blind you with promise of gold, but will only guide your throats to their blades. My rates are standard, 5 gold pieces a day, or a 30-day payment up front. A small portion goes to pay off the merchant prince Jabal. The rest I give to charity. That just be
She's got
Echo.
the druid's boat.
Ah, lovely, yes. You are getting a druidic sort of vibe, maybe, but you're not getting too much from that. Yeah, so you're setting up scimitar attack, I guess. Cool. Oh. Okay, so next up, you see a handout for 2 humans, actually, or at least it appears that on first glance. As you see, Pharaoh and Gondolo's handout, and it reads, "Why pay for one guide when you can have 2 for the same price? We have the smarts, the goods, and our own Triceratops. Treasure abounds. When we're done leading you to all the ancient sites and sacred places that we know of, you'll be swimming in golden magic. All the other guides will lead you in circles and make you do all the work. Don't be fooled. When we return to Port Nyanzaru, you will have a tale of fortune enough to last a lifetime. Our price is 5 gold pieces a day with a 30-day payment up front, but we're glad to reduce our rate for equal shares of any treasure found.
Are there any other guides?
Oh man, how are you not sold? But yes, there are many other guides. There is a guide to a beaten up bit of a dwarf, and it reads, I've stood atop every mountain in Chult. I know every gorge and crevice, every plateau and trail. My memory is an iron trap. I forget nothing. Trust a dwarf. I always say, because a dwarf will never steer you wrong. Fearless I am. There's no dragon, beast, or undead horror that scares me. You want a guide who runs away at the first sign of danger? No, you want a dwarf. And I'm the toughest dwarf round. Red dragon bit off me arm, yet here I stand. Takes more than a dragon to stop Hugh Hackenstone. I charge 5 gold a day and expect a 30-day payment up front. Best coin you ever spend, I guarantee it. I promise you. Come on, dwarf.
It's sold.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah.
I like him better than I did the other two people.
Yeah. Oh, they're all great. Next up, we got another dwarf that is a local dwarf, a Chorten Dwarf, to which has a much more interesting and bizarre skin tone. The jungle is my home. I know it well. I can guide you anywhere in Chult for a fee of 5 gold pieces a day. If adventure is what you seek, join my quest to rejoin Hrakhammer, my clan's ancestral forge. A volcanic eruption forced us to abandon it many years ago. The fire newts that have since taken over must be driven out or destroyed. At the very least, we must sneak in and recover a relic known as Moradin's Gauntlet. The fire newts must not be allowed to keep it. If you love dwarven kind, then hear my plea, and join me in returning Hrakhammer to its rightful owners. I will waive my fee if you promise of assistance. Now, Daddy Dwarf, you don't need to make a check. Moradin is the all-father of dwarfs. Yeah. And this is apparently an item that's called his gauntlet. So that's got to be something important.
That's very important, yes. Obviously, anything named, any item that is named with his name would be important in recovering and returning to dwarven kin. Yeah, I would definitely. My character would be like, oh, that's grudge to be repaid. That has to be done.
Everybody's got some good stuff. So next up, we have a pair of Tabaxi guides, and it reads, Beware of Jabal and his no-good flunkies. That merchant prince is as trustworthy as a sack of snakes, as are most of his guides. If you choose us, we will never lead you astray. Our motto, show is our playground. We're fast, reliable, and know what we're doing. 5 gold pieces per day and a 30-day advance is what Jubal's flunkies demand. We're happy to serve as guides for only 4 gold pieces a day, with no payment up front. Even better, we'll waive the fee entirely for equal shares of whatever treasure we find. Yeah.
People like some of these guys.
Yeah. Next up, there is another woman that looks a bit more fierce. It reads, I've led many expeditions through the wilds of Chult. I know secret trails that appear on no map. Hire others at your own peril. Azaka and Eku have led expeditions into the jungle that never returned. Farur and Gondola are charlatans, plain and simple. Old Hugh suffers from mad monkey fever, I'm sure of it. Musharib is an albino dwarf, and they must not be trusted. And I hear tell that River Mist and Flask of Wine owe money to the Zentrum. 5 gold pieces per day is a cheap price to pay for your lives. Spend your gold wisely.
Man, she's just bagging on all the other guys, isn't she?
Yeah, it seems so. And yeah, that is everybody's guide here. Whew. I mean, I gotta say, having to read through all of them, I can now appreciate which ones are really cool. I would be at a tough choice, you know?
Well, my character is liking Iku.
Hmm.
I'm saying Musharib.
Yes. What about Hugh
I
Hackenstone?
would say take a party vote.
I mean, you could hire multiple. Yeah? Nothing against hiring more than one guide.
I think we should talk to Musharib.
What's that?
I think we should talk to Musharib. If he will guide us without doing his quest first.
Difficult. Well, I mean, okay, yeah. So the way it would work is, I will waive my fee if you do my quest. Don't do my quest, you're paying me. You see?
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
As soon as you do my quest, we waive the fee.
And it is 5 gold pieces a day with no upfront cost.
With Musharib, let's have a look.
Just says 5 a day. And he says he'll waive it for just the promise of assistance. We can just promise and do it
hang
later.
on. Oh, you. It does imply that you keep your word.
We will, just later.
Alright, yeah, so...
Persuasion works on DMs.
Yeah, so yeah, no 30-day payment up front. It'll be 5 gold a day as you go through. And he will pay you back when you do his quest. Because you could die before you do his quest. So, yeah.
What do you think, guys?
So what do you guys think?
Oh, you know my vote.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Musharib as well.
I say Musharib as well.
Brilliant. So it works pretty simple as before. You go to the merchant prince Jabal, and you go have a word with him and tell him to get Musharib out and to get him in contact with you guys.
Awesome. So then we head that way.
Yeah. Now then, while we deal with that, I'm going to hop back to the other chat and deal with our ranger.
Alright.
Okay.
So just as a quick note, because they were doing all the selling thing, what I did was, for the hand crossbow situation, I just basically took the gear, the items that I had, and sold them at the cost that they were at.
Yeah, that's
if
cool.
you want to RP it, we can, but
It's
I
cool.
just,
we don't have actual
did
time for that.
Yeah.
It's cool. Relax. I'll let you know what needs to be taken care of. But yes, you're quite right. So,
Okay.
you are bound, gagged, and blindfolded. And then when you begin to regain consciousness, you begin to recognize, you begin to get your senses back. You don't know where you are, and you don't know, where you are. You could be indoors somewhere fancy or somewhere really grotty. All you know is that you're stuck to a chair. And as you're tied up to this chair, you are ungagged eventually, and you hear a voice that seems to be altered due to some magic to give the impression it's both male and female at the same time. And the voice simply is talking to the others idly that says, "Any idea who he is?" And the rat voice that you sort of heard before is like, "Nah, you just came around suggesting we go take their messages and whatnot. Wasn't my place to give messages." And the voice goes, "Idiot. Of course it's your place to give messages." No matter. And then
while they're talking, I'm going to try and sleight of hand to undo my bindings on my ropes. I assume they're probably tied behind my back.
Yes.
I'm going to try to kind of old school escape artist by using the sleight of hand, but not to do it in a way where I'm like clearly struggling, just trying to kind of slip my hands free.
No, I get it. You want to give the illusion that you are still trapped, so when the moment comes, you just spring forth with the bindings having already been coming off from you.
Yes.
Yeah, I know it well. So, because you reckon this rat person did the bindings, you find them pretty easy to come out of. And you do so. You're ready to free yourself the moment that you need to come free.
Okay. And I'll continue listening to what they're saying.
So the altered voice person pokes the one they call Rat as they go, "Wake him up then." And so Rat seems to go behind you and smacks you around the side of the ear, just with like a pat, but it's right in your ear that it knocks through your head and you go, "Oi, wake up, foreigner! Come on, northerner, wakey wakey!"
Okay, I'll do a little bit like of a movement as if I was like waking up, as if I was passed out.
Okay.
Kind of charading.
Right, and yeah, because I like the idea from you, the voice will go, "Are you the mongoose that eats the snake, or are you the mouse that lures the snake in?"
I'm the eagle that eats the mongoose and the mouse. The apex predator.
Oh, fantastic!
And as I say that, I'm gonna pull my hands out in front of me slowly, but not in a threatening way. And
you kick your you cross your legs while you're at it.
Yeah, and kind of like undo the thing over my head, and I'm gonna say, "Wow, this." And I'm gonna look over at the kind of rat-like guy and be like, "Hey, he didn't do a very good job with tying these bindings. You may want to hire somebody else for this type of work. But nice to meet you. I'm Durandal Cage."
So there is a silence, and then you hear a crossbow bolt being fitted. Now, don't worry, don't do your shit, because the voice says, "We have no need for rats and vermin here." And you hear the sickening crunch of a crossbow bolt being unloaded into the head of a person, and then the gush of warm liquid flowing into the carpet that you must be on top of as the ground becomes kind of sodden. Now, you are blinded because of the fold over you, but you're pretty much all free at this point, so the only thing that's left to your imagination is the feeling of this soaked carpet underneath your boots. As they go... Yeah, go on. Go on, Mr. Apex Predator. You get inspiration for that. If you don't have it, you get inspiration for that.
Okay. I'm gonna, is the bag still on my head?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm gonna pull the bag off, and,
the voice will warn, "I like you, Mr. Eagle, but you take that bag off, and you'll be following this rat friend to death."
Alright, I won't take the bag off, and I will say, "Oh, good, it sounds like, you saved me the trouble of having to kill him myself. Let's talk business."
There is a bit of a scoff, and the person snaps their fingers as a chair is scuffed up and brought over to you, and the voice goes, "Yes, let's talk business. And what business can I do for you?"
Well, I'm looking for one Artis Kimber in the region here. He is purported to have a ring of power on him that I'm trying to acquire.
"And who do your allegiances remain to?"
Well, of course, I'm a member of the Zentarum Guild, and I'm on a mission to recover the ring.
"Ah, so you are the one. Very well. You had to understand that we wouldn't have taken any chances to anybody that came looking for us. And now that you are in my company, I guarantee your next visit will be much more hospitable. But you could have done this a bit smarter."
Oh, well, there wasn't any directions, so I'm using the skills that I have to find you, and nevertheless, here I am.
They give a shrug as they can't fault your reasoning. As they go, what do you have to give us?
So I just spent over 60 days out in the jungle, and I've uncovered a few new bits of information. One being that there are frost giants in Chult, which you probably are aware of, but they are here looking for the ring as well. They are weary from the heat that the jungle brings, and they want nothing more to leave, but they are on a quest to find the ring. And they had tasked the adventuring party that I was with to find the ring for them. Perhaps it would be a good way for me to leverage the motivation of the group to find the ring and use it for our own taking. The other thing is, when we were traveling down the river, when we first left Chult months ago, there was an area of supernatural winter that we came across. So it appears that Artis Kymber is most likely utilizing the ring, which could potentially mean that we could track him. My party is getting ready to go out on an expedition again, and should we come across Artis Kymber or follow his trail, as you know, I'm one of the best trackers in the land, then perhaps it would present an opportunity for me to encounter him. The question is that if I do encounter him, I will need a few things in place to make sure that I can get the ring and slip away without my party members noticing, and also for me to be able to steal it or to kill Artis Kymber to take it.
So there's a bit of a pause as you can hear the chair creak a little bit as the person you're speaking to sort of reclines back. And you can remember that the rat dude also had one other figure that you never got to get a read on, but the altering voice person suggests, I like this eagle. He has the initiative I want to see in many more. Well done. Maybe we needed a foreigner to get this done. You've certainly shown extreme progress where many have failed. I like you. Stick around here and I shall see to it that you will be rewarded very well. To begin with, let's talk about how you're going to keep in touch, as this was a bit messy. And you are presented with Ascending Stone. This is a stone that basically looks like a relief of a generic person's face. And essentially, this is your cell phone in Dungeons & Dragons. And it simply says, I have the other. There's no others to it. It will just be a link between you and I. Keep in touch, and I'll be listening.
Very good. I'll be able to give you progress updates as I track down this Kymber.
Very, very good. Now then, what are these requests that you would like to make of me?
I currently do not have the resources or the know-how to acquire very powerful poisons. If perhaps there's a way for me to get a powerful poison, I could potentially use it to take out Artis Kymber in one blow, or to render him paralyzed so that I can steal the ring.
They're immediately on the ball as they go, Jessamine. Haha, you want poisons. Princess Jessamine is well versed in any poison you can imagine. The merchant prince fancies herself on the surface as a horticulturist, but don't let that fool you. She is a brutal, savage killer. She will, if you were to make an assassination, she will absolutely cover your retreat. She is a safe haven for all assassinations that need to happen in Chult. I'm going to share this in your journal now. Who are you on Roll20? Durandal.
I am Durandal, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you this handout to Jessamine right there. She has this white curly streak of silver going through her black hair as this voice explains. Yes.
I don't have a handout. I never received a handout.
It's in your journal now. I've definitely shared it to you. You'll find it later. Yeah, right. It's definitely in your journal.
Okay.
And yeah, and the voice basically goes, give them this. and they basically hand you a little bit of a symbol, on a bit of parchment, and they go, "They will get you whatever you need on my own pocket. Though I like you, Eagle, but make no mistake, I'm investing a lot because you've come the furthest. That also means you have the most to lose should you fail me. And you will never be welcome in the Zentium again if my trust was misplaced in the wrong cocky adventurer. Am I clear?"
You're crystal clear. Luckily, that won't be an issue, because most of the adventurers don't even make it out of the jungle. So I've already proven my ability and my dedication. I thank you for your help, though, as it will certainly be useful in acquiring the ring. Should I acquire the ring, would you like me to bring it back to you?
Well, the ring, of course.
Very well. Then unless you have anything else for me, I should probably rejoin my group before they start to wonder where I'm at.
No, very well. Now, then, kindly don't resist as you're led out of here. You can't be allowed to know where we are. But with the sending stone, that's not going to be an issue, will it?
No, because we can always contact each other in the future.
Glad to hear your cooperation. Now,
do I have a name that I can give you?
You do not, and I choose not to give you one. Now then, with our business done, I suggest you leave while the getting's good, Mr. Eagle. Oh my god, I'm gonna give you your fucking 00 bond now. This is your spy name, Mr. Eagle. Oh, I like it. I fucking like it. Yes. So you are led back to the well, yeah, in the dead of night, you're led back to the dinosaur paddock where you were before, and then you're welcome to make your way back to the inn where your party is staying, should you choose to, or do you have any other business you wish to attend? Because when the hood comes off, there's nobody around you.
Okay, so I want to recover the items that I left behind and hid in the dinosaur poop.
Yeah, it's all pretty shitty.
Okay, yeah. Obviously, I'll have to clean that off.
It's had an evening to soak in the, vile filth.
Yeah. I'm going to go see Jessamine real quick.
So it's not trading hours. So when you go to the merchant princess's villa, you are turned away by the guards there that say that, you're not welcome to disturb one of the merchant princes now.
I'm going to say I have business that is of extreme importance to Jessamine. You should tell her that I'm here waiting for her so that I can speak to her. It is of the most urgent matter. Should I have to wait until tomorrow, I don't think she will be pleased that you made me wait on a matter that is of importance as this. And I will roll. You want me to roll a persuasion or a deception?
So you can roll persuasion, and it's going to be a hard check because of that description you gave me. So that doesn't cut the mustard, and basically the gladiator rolls his shoulder around as the other one's like, "Is it my turn or yours?" And he goes, "It's mine. This one looks like he's about as strong as a baby stegosaurus." And they're sizing up, looking like they're going to start beating the shit out of you. You figure you better leave, or you better come up with some better explanation to disturb a merchant prince at this time of night.
I'll back away and leave and wait till tomorrow.
Okay, so you join up with the rest of the guys at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, then we will jump back to the other chat.
Okay.
Okay, so pardon me for that wait, guys. Now that that's taken care of, what do people get up to now? It's getting very late in the evening at this point. You get your daily shopping in, and you just, well, yeah, you carry on.
Yeah, and we hired our guide.
Oh yeah, so you went to Jabal. Pardon me. Yeah, you go to Jabal, and Jabal meets you at his villa as he did before, and he goes, "Well, look who made it back. Needless to say, I have lost a very wonderful guide. I don't suppose you're willing to tell me what happened to them now, do you?"
Luke, in the last game, you actually said that Azaka made it back, was looking for us, and then left again.
So... Yes, and my question still remains true then. Because while they may have done that, Jabal never got to hear about it.
Okay.
So he will still ask you about that.
Yeah, I don't think we keep it a secret. I mean, it's not some conspiracy or anything.
Right, and he goes, "Doesn't sound like in Asaka's behavior. They would have just stayed in Port Nyanzaru rather than foolishly run out into the jungle. What did you do to make them so hasty?"
Are we sure she hadn't picked up some more clients?
I'm quite sure all clients come through me before they are given a guide.
I'm not sure then.
I feel like there's something that you're not telling me. Or well, in this case, it may be the detail out of character to say that it might be because Asaka was the one that mysteriously dealt with your dead Minotaur, and you hadn't seen her since. Although they came back to Port Nyanzaru in that time, you know that probably is an issue that relates back to this and why they're all fidgety.
She did go off on her own. She could have very easily have died while traversing the jungles on her own. Ran across a zombified Tyrannosaurus Rex, who knows?
Azaka
these
is
things
not
do
one.
happen.
Azaka,
yes.
While Azaka was very capable, no one can navigate the treacherous jungles on their own and make it out alive. You know this more than most.
Azaka can, and I do know this more than most. Azaka is more than a capable huntress of the jungles. More than what the eye appears, as I'm sure you discovered. Given that she was a were-tiger at that. And even then,
Oh my god, a were-tiger?
Yeah, oh yeah, you were new. So those that have
I
lived
was
in the
just
party
messing with
know that she is a were-tiger.
Well, I wouldn't know that because I've never met her.
No, you would not,
neither
so you
would
are
I.
correct. Yeah, so... Yeah. You're role-playing this correctly then. But yeah, he just says that Azaka is more confident than most. Needless to say, their business must be conducted in the right manner, and what they do in their own time is up to them. Though I'd be remiss to have one of my favourite guides be taken away. Hopefully you won't cause too much bad business for the next guide you've come to me for.
I'm sure we won't. And if we come across Azaka, we'll send her back to you.
Well, that's good enough for me then. Anyway, what can I do for you today? Who would be on your list to hire out?
We were looking at Musharib.
Ah, fine dwarf. Very fine dwarf. It's not to reclaim any treasure that could be found in a lost, in a vacant dwarven forge. There's likely something very valuable in there for sure. He talks about Moradin's gauntlet, but I'm more interested in the sort of cooled iron and gold that's likely hidden in those mines. Still, once you bring back Moradin's gauntlet for him, I'm sure all other treasure is on the table up for grabs. He's a fine dwarf though, I'll say that much for him. Not as much hardy as Hugh Hackstone, one of my favourites. But no, Musharib will absolutely get what you need done. He's a sturdy, stalwart fella. So, I know that he's in town. I can get him to drop by your place tomorrow morning, if that so fancies you.
Sounds
That
great.
sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
Well, very well. Though, I will say, if you lose this guide, I think it'll be bad business to give you guys a third. I might be remiss to give you a third.
Well, this is the first guide you've given me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. But I've heard about the scourge poisons, and somehow that name has travelled like lightning after you've officiated yourselves on a piece of documented table, you know. And he's just like, it's all about the numbers. If I keep losing a guide every time you guys come back, I don't think I'm gonna see any profit come back to me, and you'll destroy my whole market single-handedly. But such is the troubles of a merchant.
I'm going to say to him, well, no need to worry. The profits will be plentiful. In fact, while we're away, you may as well commission a mason to start crafting our statue, since we're going to save the land of Cult.
Okay, Mr. Eagle. You fucking let, that what happened earlier get to you. Jesus. This is not a deception. This is a persuasion. Oh, to which you can only natural crit or nothing. Oh no, you didn't nat crit. But you weren't far off. Holy shit. Oh my god. If you had crit though, I swear if you had crit this then, it would have been amazing. But no, Jabal scoffs as he's just like, foolhardy adventurers never cease to amaze. Still, as long as you bring me money, you can say whatever you want to do. Maybe when you become famous gladiators or something, you'll be statues. I don't know. Talk to some other prince that fancies burning their pocket on your behalf. That being said, however, I'll see Musharib finds his way to you. That was a good one. Ugh, being a statue. Ugh. So yes, if nobody has any other business to conduct, you guys, take a rest.
Yes, there is one other thing. I would like to see if there are any silver weapons for sale.
Oh, now, very, very, very good of you. Very good. All weapons can be silvered, and it's absolutely doable in the port of Chult. You can go to the same place you got your Yikwa from, Yikua rather, and you can absolutely silver your weapons as it appears in the player's handbook. So checking up, I'm looking for the price of silvering a weapon. Oh, excuse me. Okay, here we go. Some monsters have immunities or resistance to non-magical weapons, but are susceptible to silver weapons, so cautious adventurers invest extra coin to plate their weapons with silver. It will be at a cost of 100 gold pieces to silver a weapon, or to give that to 5 pieces of ammunition. No, to 20 pieces of ammunition, like a quiver of bolts, basically.
I would like to silver my halberd.
I need to silver my weapons as well. How much was it?
100 gold pieces to each thing you want to silver.
Ooh, that is steep.
Yes, it is.
He'll save you in a fight, though.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, I think I will do mine as well.
Okay.
I'll silver my one short sword.
Yeah, fantastic. You can silver your pieces of your bolts, though, Mr. Ranger.
Yeah. I'll do that too. You said 20 pieces?
So 100 gold pieces will cover the cost of 20 bolts being silvered.
Okay. Can anyone lend me 5 gold pieces?
Oh man.
I can do it. I'll
Alright.
send give you 5. Yep.
I will silver 20 bolts and a short sword then.
Wow, brilliant. So you spent 200 gold.
Yeah, and I'm out. I'm broke.
Yeah.
Even after everything we distributed?
Yeah.
Yikes.
I had to buy my hand crossbows, so yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll do both of my submitters, so that's 200 as well.
Oh shit. Okay, so Ranger spent 200. Bard has spent 200. Daddy Dwarf, do you spend?
I spend 100 for the halberd, just the halberd.
We're at 500. Mystic, you don't need to, and Druid, you don't need to do any silvering, do you?
Nope.
So, of your 1,100 Illyrian gold pieces you had, at least from the diamonds, you're now, 600 still going, so not bad. You still got money to spare.
I'm rolling in it, man. I haven't had to spend anything.
Yeah, brilliant. Be sure now that with your weapons, you add a S dot to the name, so we know it's silvered now. But yeah,
In front of the name?
yeah, in front of the name.
Okay.
But yeah, congratulations, you guys are now silvered, and you won't be dicked over the next time you're on a, a fight against another lycanthropath. Just out of curiosity, some monsters that have immunity to non-magical weapons are susceptible to silver weapons. So cautious adventurers. Yeah. Doesn't say more than that, because I've seen a lot of creatures that have resistances to non-magical weapons, but not a... Okay, so if it says this resistance from a non-magical weapon, then I will say that your silver weapon gives you the edge. If it just says flatly has resistance on slashing weapons, then I have to rule it that your silvered weapons doesn't improve on the damage it does to these creatures. Okay?
Yeah, seems fair.
Because that suggests that both magical and non-magical slashing will always be halved by a resistance. But yeah, we will see about this. It should still give you the edge in some places. Especially when fighting ghosts. That's a key thing. A silvered weapon will allow you to actually hit a ghost, whereas a non-magical one, that wouldn't get you far, I think. Whew. So then.
Alright, so we go to bed for the night.
You do. You all get a good night's rest as you imagine the beating, howling, cawing, bloodthirsty, infectious yellow musk zombie and zombie stuffed jungle of Chult. How do people sleep tonight?
Restful.
Oh, brilliant. Nobody has any...
Oh, so nice to be out of that jungle.
Yeah. And you'll be going back in it soon enough. So, you guys get a full night's rest, and by the morning when you go down, Musharib is waiting there, and as soon as Daddy Dwarf gets down, he basically regards you. What is your name, Daddy Dwarf?
Dalrod.
Dalrog, yes. So as soon as he sees you, he goes, "Ah, the scourge poison, please, please. I've been eager to meet you all morning. I trust that you are hoping to help me with Hrackhammer. I've been meaning."
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I knew that a dwarf that was worth his beard would be along soon enough. I had high hopes, and I'm so glad that I was rewarded for my hoping.
Well, we will probably not be able to get to it right away. We certainly intend to aid you in this, or at least I do.
Yeah, we do have certain priorities, though.
He is a little taken aback by that because he's afraid you guys will die before you help him out on his stuff. As he goes, all right. What is this? What do you need to get done first, my friends?
We need to go talk to the Naga.
A Naga? What's a Naga?
Well, actually, let them know the location that we are aware of on the map.
Oh, so I take you now to the player's map of Chult, and he takes a look with it, and he goes, Alright, fair enough. I see you made some headway into this map. Interesting, interesting. Still then, so you're after a place called Oralunga. Interesting. Alright then. Do you guys see the player's map of Chult right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very well. Well then, firstly, let me show you Shrekhammer. And he makes a point on the map for you. Yes, he will do that. Whoa, my map's going a little crazy. Yeah. Weak.
There it is.
Yeah, and so,
Rakamar.
yes, and he says, well, it's way down south, I'll give you that. But needless to say, I see you've made a note of a princess over nearby. After you do our mission, perhaps you might have a fun and look around Omu. It's a grand city, not one I've pried into that much. But needless to say, while you're that down south, if you have a princess awaiting you, perhaps it'd be a good reward after picking up Moradin's gauntlet. Still, I see your map of Oralunga. Yeah, so this doesn't seem like... We gotta make a long way south. And my approach would probably be to keep to the Mistcliff Mountains, the Kobold Mountains. We barely need to even trek into the forest that much, you know? So this could work out. However, I'm led to believe you're in possession of some canoes and stuff, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, well, I know over in this area that there is the Aldani Basin, a large cesspit, basically, filled with all kinds of crazy, bizarre lobster folk, but called the Aldani. But by canoe, I imagine a trip that follows swiftly through the jungle, past Camp Vengeance, so at least another safe haven on our journey, and then around Camp Vengeance, we head out on foot to Oralunga, giving a miss to the large plateaus of Mbala. I tell you, I hear bad things of Mbala, a crazy woman that sits there that practices dark magic. Still.
We have business there.
Oh, do you? Well, I would... listen. Dalrog, my fine fellow dwarf, I imagine many paths lead to interesting things, but I don't invite you to pester Mbala. She is a bizarre creature that lives in darkness and pure isolation. Her magic is from that of blood magic, and needless to say, she is connected to some sort of undead, and it is not a pleasant thing. I wouldn't risk a quest on behalf of all dwarfs for anything that involves her.
Sounds like that's the place where we need to be if it has undead.
I must say though, we are here to end the death curse, and anything that has to do with the undead. We are here to find out the source of this misery. We must investigate along the way to ensure that I, as well, complete my quest, and I will be able to assist you in yours.
He gives a large sigh as he goes, as you wish. Now, you guys have picked up your golden needles, so you are able to unpetrify your buddies, but they are over at Nangalore, so that's in another opposite direction to where you are, and where your path travels.
Yeah, that's why I have to wait for later.
But as he explains, he goes, very well. After Camp Vengeance, we'll travel on the river a further bit down south. Then we make our way across to Mbala. After you deal with your business with her, we carry on our way to Oralunga. From there, we'll make our way southeast and try to connect back with the River Taff. then probably keeping to the coastline, although we add a bit of time to our journey. In fact, yeah, the plateaus in the Cobalt Mountains might be difficult to climb. Are
there any tunnels that go through the Cobalt Mountains that you know of to reach Rackhammer from behind?
He gives a noise that's specifically like that, as it's basically a bit of a yeah, I don't know of some, but they aren't called the Cobalt Mountains for nothing. They are indeed infested to the teeth and to the brim with tiny little reptilian kobolds. But I do know of such a path through the mountains, through the mines of Moria. Oh, pardon me. I just saw the moment and I had to go with it.
Should we bring that cleric with us, since we're probably going to be going to Aldani Basin?
Cleric? Oh, yeah, you do have a cleric. You have a priestess with the church to check back in with. Yes, and Mr. Mystic, you are being a little bit quiet at the moment. You may want to get closer to your mic or talk up.
Is that better?
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. But yes, you well remembered. There is a devout worshipper of Savas, god of fortune and divination, that does have some things to do with the Aldani Basin. She was a woman that had visions, and her path led her over that way. I'm stalling. Here we go. Yes. So it was an acolyte, a female Chorten human, had disturbing visions of a red-robed wizard operating a secret base somewhere in the Aldani Basin. The head of her temple, Grandfather Sitembe, has too many things to worry about, but he's given Inet, which is the acolyte's name, permission to investigate, and she will happily follow you guys, and she will happily donate 100 gold pieces to the expedition.
Well, we're going that direction now anyways.
Wonderful. So, Musharib says, well then, yes, so you guys want to go through the Kobold Mountains, is that right?
Maybe eventually. I mean, we do have quite a few things to accomplish before we get to that point.
Well, keep in mind, lad, this isn't the kind of planning that you can dismiss so quickly. One way goes and takes us another 10 days to reach, and a 10 day is a good enough time for any to die, so we plan this out now so we know how long this takes and what we can expect and plan for. You understand?
After Oralunga, we will go to the Cobalt Mountains to get to our Rackhammer.
So,
Yes.
what I suggest, there's two routes. After Oralunga, we join the River Tath and we go to Jahaka Bay. Or, we leave the River Tath and we go on foot around the mountain and climb where necessary. Going by river will be quicker, but it means we gotta go through the Kobold mines before getting to the inner mines of Rackhammer. But if we go on foot, the journey may take a little longer, and with more dangers. Arguably, kobolds are dangerous too. But after Rackhammer, where do you guys seek to go next?
Omu?
I think we need to see
Probably
what the Naga says.
Exactly.
That's true. At that point, it really depends on what the Naga has to say.
And also Nangalore, to get your unpetrified friends back.
Yes, but the direction that we take to reach Nangalore will be dependent on what the Naga says.
Very well, very well. And then after that, for the foreseeable future, back to Port Nyanzaru. Is that correct?
We're ready to take off.
So it'll be something like...
We gotta go get that one acolyte person first.
Yes, don't worry. He has got that in mind. But, yeah. you guys have the idea pretty much. Maybe he wouldn't go through Kitch's Inlet. He would just walk you straight through the undead regions, you imagine. But, yeah, sounds like a good plan that will take you on a good circuit through Cholt. So, time to get back to the Temple of Savras. Join me in the voice. So when you go to the Temple of Savras, you see once again that Grandfather Sitembe is like resisting against people that are trying to offer him gems. Then he goes, "No, I don't know where your friend is, and I cannot help you find him, and now leave and stop pestering me with this." Now, Mr. Ranger, join me in the other chat for me briefly, please.
Okay.
We're going to be very quick and brief. You need to pop by your poisons person, and we'll deal with that briefly afterwards, but you got to say to the guys, I forgot something, I need to step out for that. But also, you recognize one of the people there. In terms of his build, you recognize the guy that was with the rat, basically. And this one, you can name whatever, but he seems to be there holding a bag of gems. As you can imagine, these guys are trying to bribe this main grandfather of divination to tell them where Artis Khyber is.
Okay, and he's turning them down.
Yes, he is. Mostly because you reckon these guys look shady as fuck. And a cleric won't deal with helping shady as fuck people.
Right.
And now we hop back to the other group.
Okay.
Okay, so, minor thing. So yes, you see Grandfather Sitembe turn these guys away as, he just wants nothing to deal with them. And you guys approach, and Inette is hanging around as she was before, and she is looking at some of you with some confusion, but then she recognizes one of you who has not died. Brightheart hasn't died.
Brightheart.
Yeah, so she's quite happy to see some of you guys, and flattered to say the least that she hasn't been forgotten, and that her nights of restless sleep have not gone in vain, that someone is finally here to help her. So firstly, Grandfather Sitembe comes forward, and so he comes forward, and he goes, I see you've made it back from the jungles of Cholt. You should know that the name Scourge Poison has traveled very fast indeed. I have been amazed by your, by your survival skills, to say the least. Though I see you're a few heads short, but making up of a few other heads.
Yes, we've lost several of our companions in the jungles of Cholt. There were lives that were lost. Perhaps we're getting ready to go back out again. Perhaps we could help you, or perhaps you could do some scrying for us to help us locate people or places before we head out on our journey to save more lives.
So he's like, well, this is truly a noble cause indeed. I hope the god Savras sees your path and leads you to it, to which will lead to your inevitable success in all that you hope to achieve.
We have a couple of friends that are missing in the jungle. Perhaps you could help us locate them.
Well, divination is by far what I can do for sure. And he shakes a donation box before you.
I'm gonna look at the rest of the party.
Oh yeah, you're out of gold, aren't you?
I'm broke. Yep.
All right, I'll pitch in 10.
10 what? Sorry.
10 gold.
and he goes, the guides are short-sighted today. As he shakes the box a bit more.
I'll throw 10 in there.
I can put 10 in as well.
He goes, I feel them, I feel them. The guides are coming, I feel them. Tell me what you seek and I shall surely help you out.
We are seeking 3 people. They are our friends and they've gone missing in the jungle.
Alright, very well. Tell me their names and tell me about them. The more you tell me, the easier it will be for me to divine them. And I'll be able to tell you by tomorrow where these individuals are.
What was your Minotaur's character's name?
Oh, Sekra.
We're looking for Sekra, a mighty Minotaur warrior that was wounded in battle and was carried off by the other companion that we're looking for. The second person we're looking for is Azaka Stormfang, native to this land. She's a were-tiger, and we're trying to find her as she's gone missing. And the third, we're looking for our missing friend, Artist Kimber, an older man who...
he goes to Artist Kimber.
Missing in the jungle.
He goes at Artist Kimber, and he seemed on board with everything, nodding along quite happily, as he peers at you with some seriously accusational looks as he goes, "Why do you seek out Artist Kimber?"
There are, unfortunately, some ice giants that are trying to track him down and kill him. We're trying to reach him before it's too late.
Oh, so you mean to save him?
Yes, of course. The ice giants are after him. They've invaded the land of Cholt looking for him. We actually ran into them on our journey.
So, you're not lying, but I want you to give him... in fact, no, he's going to give an insight check to see if that's everything you know. Insight. Okay. Give me a deception. Just because I need a DC. That. Oh! Okay.
There's the crit.
Good luck with that.
So, Mr. Eagle, you are swooping in with the crit. I need to get some MLG air horns going on so that every time you crit, I can get some no, just shit like that. So yeah, well done. Yeah, any fears this guy had, for whatever reason, he completely, totally believes you as he goes, well, very well. I know that Artist is in need of friends right now. I will absolutely find him for you, as well as your friends. So, just so I've double-checked with you guys, Sekra, Artist Kimber, who, by the way, maybe the first time you've heard that name for everybody who isn't, well, sorry, not the first time. You heard of him with the Frost Giants, at least. But, yeah, you've heard of him with the Frost Giants, so yeah. And who was the third person you're looking for?
We're looking for Azaka, too. Because she's missing.
Very well. Perfect. So, Grandfather Sitembe says, I will consult the guides, and I will get back to you tomorrow. This is a long, long process. But, in the meantime, I know Annette is going to prepare herself to join you tomorrow. And she will be...
Jasmine.
Sorry?
I thought we were taking Jasmine.
So I read over some of the names, and the name seems to be Annette.
Okay, cool.
It may be Jasmine, but
That's the name we were given, Jesmo.
maybe I've given you a wrong name. I can see the quest here. Whoops, whoopity whoop. I know she is an acolyte by definition. Yeah. If characters are heading towards the region and donate, I'm trying to read it. Yep, Inette, called INETE. Inette.
Cool, I'll update that.
Yeah, I don't know how Jasmal fitted in there, but wrong name. Sorry about that, but yes. So, you guys have another evening to kill, and Musharib is relieved of the time because he can say, like, ah, well, I can plan out the route with you all the more, and we can discuss how long that is going to take. And you guys know travel distances. Every hex on the river is about 2 days, well, 2 hexes per day of travel, and everywhere else is a day on foot. So you can imagine how long that's going to take, and you can work that out in your time. You can ration. Oh my god, I apologize for that rude burp of me. That's terrible of me. Excuse me. Yeah, but it was a good burp, I gotta admit that. But yeah, you guys can plan out how long it's going to ration, how long it's going to take, and all that, you know, stuff. Now in the meantime, you guys probably don't have much you need to be getting on with. You guys feel as though you're ready to get back into the swing of things in the jungle, the heart of the jungle calling to you. And yeah, basically you rest up and you just take everything in. You get all the comforts you can. Do you guys live fairly lavishly tonight?
No.
Oh no?
I think the bard does.
Oh yay. Okay, Miss Bard, for the cost of an Illyrian piece, I can get fancy with how you spend your evening.
Go on then.
Brilliant. So, yes. Anybody else choose to live the high life tonight?
Not the mystic style, so he's not.
What is it? Illyrian pieces, 10 gold, right?
Yes.
Sure, why not?
Oh. Okay. So, Bard and Ranger, you guys live it up. You buy yourself exotic. Well, you get yourself first class seats to the. Hang on. What is this?
By the way, it was the dwarf.
The dwarf.
Dwarf, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Hang on. Let's see. Hang on. What is this music I have? Yes, this will do the trick just fine. Yes, yes. So, yeah, you guys choose to spend it up as, for the rarest of rare occasion, the night sky of Port Nyanzaru is free of humidity and cloud cover, as you guys can see the sloshing of waves in the port harbor lights, as the city nightlife has truly come alive. And when you buy your exotic seats, people recognize you as part of the adventuring crew that's made it back from the jungle, the newly up and rising Scourge Poisons, with yeah. And so people have, oh my god, I forgot there's moaning to this. I forgot there's moaning to this piece of music. But yeah, there's some tremendous dinosaur racing going on tonight. Another unchained race. Dinosaurs biting and clawing at one another as they race for supremacy. Oh, and then the beat kicks in. The dinosaurs get jiggy and they start dancing. Wait, maybe you took some jet or something. Who knows? I'm sorry, am I just talking right now, or are you guys enjoying this?
I think some of us are ready to get going with the adventure.
Yeah, brilliant. I wanted to make sure you were getting into the rave spirit as I was. So, along with everything else, the street lights go out as a paint is applied to the dinosaurs that's bioluminescent to make them look like nighttime street races, just on their normal regular stripes, but the race is done in the dark. Now, do you guys deal with any dinosaur racing while you're at it?
I got burned last time, so no.
Oh, that's fair enough. Okay. No, how about you, Bard? Want to place your bets?
No, not me.
Ah, fine.
I already won last time.
So yeah, Miss Bard, do you have a persuasion towards firm gladiators, or do you actually prefer the female company?
Female company, I think.
Yes. So, you look like a kind of, well, you're a very fancy halfling, but on top of that, you carry yourself with quite a bit of confidence, and that seems to bring out some of the more fiery-blooded Chorten women that seem to recognize a VIP when they see one, and many of them are curling around your feathery cap and tickling some of those like very sensitive halfling ears, you know, while we're at it. But they adorn you, and they happily offer to fetch you fruit and whatnot whenever you so deem while you're watching the race. As a dwarf, do you have a proclivity one way or the other?
He likes men.
Oh no! Damn you, Ranger!
Now the dwarf decides this. It's the dwarf decides.
I prefer women.
Yeah, so you get to share the women with the bard, perhaps.
I don't think so.
Oh, shit. Okay. So, bard, what's your number? Do you just, like, all women are yours at approach? Like, as soon as the barbarian gets one, do you just, like, wink, beckon them over, and just keep stealing off any he might have?
I'll be happy once I've got 2, I think.
There is definitely 2 on each side of you. And, yeah, Mr. Barbarian, you get the bard's sloppy seconds of leftover women, basically. But they're still lovely, and they're all very attentive. In fact, you think you saw that one with a beard. Just a little bit of stubble. But, it's so rare to find any women with a bit of beard going on. So thank God that bit is going for you. I mean, one halfling's sloppy seconds. It's a dwarf's prized winnings, you know.
Wasn't your character's son a half orc? So you're into orcs.
I'm into orcs. Yes.
Okay.
There are no female half orcs here, but there are some women that look like half orcs, and you're digging them. You're digging them. They're very attentive, to say the least, and they make you feel like the VIP that you are.
Well, let's just say Kithri doesn't spend long watching the dinosaur races, and she invites 2 lovely ladies back to her room.
Oh, they are all over it. They are all over it. They are ready to join you back, as they basically offer you how they do it down in Chult. They're gonna show you how that works in the fiery, hot and tropical, exotic way that they have it done here. And Mr. Barbarian, you take your lovely lady back to a pig pen, maybe, and you get busy there in the northerner style, perhaps. No, you go to the dock side, of course. You go to the dock side. You may be, you know, pestered by a couple of sea turtles while you're at it as well. And a few crabs and things that are in the... Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No, crabs get involved in this! Oh no, it gets too real all of a sudden. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, you guys live it up. And I can safely say that Kithri, you have a swell time. And Mr. Barbarian, you definitely relieve a lot of pent-up stress that you get at sea and on land. So yeah, this was definitely a great time. Ooh. And the night goes on. The morning comes afterwards. Hang on. You guys are fucking hungover. Kithri, you're found in a position where blood is running to your head, and you're going to have to make some sort of sleight of hand or acrobatics check in order to get out of the bindings you seem to have found yourself in. How did you set them up? How did this get set up? You don't know. Oh, but you aced...
I have no memory.
It doesn't matter, though, because you ace your way out of it. Somehow particularly proficient in getting out of these cuffs they seem to have found for you, as this is just another day.
Practice.
Yes, Mr. Barbarian, you're fucking floating out in the harbor ward, out in the water. Over here, you are against this statue of one of the merchant prince lords. As you're just like bobbing your head, you're like slumped over the feet of this dude, naked, completely buck-ass naked. As you're just like in the middle of the harbor ward with other barges and ships from Kalimshan and Kalimport all coming by, as you're just there buck naked, hairy and bearded. You can see your equipment left on the bankside there, but there's a bit of a swim for you first.
That's easy. I'll swim that.
Ah, brilliant. You get a few calls and hollers from some of the sailing ships. Do you have no shame at all, basically?
Nope.
Brilliant. You just dive right in and you swim like a newborn dwarf. And you pick up your stuff as mothers and children scream to see you. And you're just like, chill, I'm getting dressed. And yeah, you've had a good morning swim today. And you feel refreshed. Oh my goodness me. Now then, hop in the general chat for me, Mr. Ranger. Okay, so while everybody was living it up, you can absolutely deal with the poisons and such that you went to buy. And when you go back to the shop that you want to, Jessamyn's shop, firstly, you guys, well, yeah, you go there and you see that she's actually a woman with a lot of rags going on. She is in a large horticulture. She's in a large greenhouse, basically, as there's lots of herbs and plants and other such being sold. And when you walk in, you realize that she's covering up quite a bit in gauze and bandages and what have you. Very similar to Syndra Sylvain, as you've observed.
Okay. I'm going to approach and say, "Hello, I'm Durandal. I'm looking to procure a few items."
And she coughs and takes a nice deep breath and straightens herself out as she goes, "Well, what can I do for you, then?"
I'm going to reach in my pocket and pull out the note that had the symbol on it and just hand it to her. I'm going to say, "I need a few wares."
She looks at the note and her eyes go a bit wide, but then relaxes down again as she goes, "I see. Follow me into the back." And
Okay.
she leads you into the back as things get a bit more dark as she goes, "I don't know your mark, but I have everything you need right here, and I'm going to show this to you," as she has everything in terms of poisons. She's got poisons which you eat, poisons that you breathe, poisons you add to the end of your weapon. She's got all varieties of danger to them. And she says, this note here, it will cover you the price of a purple worm poison, or anything less. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, this is 2,000 gold pieces worth of a poison. You know?
Yeah, I'm looking at the poison list right now.
Yes. She gives you a moment to say, "Keep in mind, when you're out in the jungle, sometimes you're going to have to employ a little bit of deception into your work. So think carefully about how you're going to be killing your mark."
I'm looking for the poison that paralyzes crawler mucus, which is contact. It's a low deceive, though.
Yes.
Midnight poison is ingested but does damage. Oh, oil of Taggart.
Oil of Taggart, yes.
That would render them unconscious.
Oil of Taggart doesn't do that. It makes them... Oh, excuse me. The poison creature is unconscious. You're so right. Yes, you're completely right. It wakes up if it takes damage, and they will only be asleep for a day.
Yeah. Contact poison. So the poison just has to touch them.
Yes.
Does she have any things for sale that help with delivering the poison?
No. Other than the flasks that they come in.
Okay. I mean, I assume if you ingested contact poison, the same effect would occur.
Yes.
Because you're
well,
in
excuse
contact
me.
with it.
Maybe not. Maybe not, actually. That may be a lot.
Context says, contact poison can be smeared on an object and remains potent until it is touched or washed off. A creature that touches contact poison with exposed skin suffers its effects.
So, when we have, like, poison ivy, not a great example, when we get nettles and stuff, we get rashes from them. If we boil and eat them, you know, I think they're safe to digest. So, what I'm going to tell you is the results are going to vary if you go outside their designated use.
But I could put, like, oil of Taggart on, like, a glove and then, like, shake someone's hand.
Totally. It would look like a suspicious glove, but totally.
Right. Let me get... I definitely want oil of Taggart, because I think that might be one of the most useful ways to do this. Crawler mucus is also contact, and that paralyzes. But I think oil of Taggart would be better, because it just basically puts them kind of to sleep.
So if you get oil of Taggart, you will have a credit of 1,600 gold pieces remaining.
Yeah.
I highly recommend an injury-based poison.
Yeah, why don't I get wyvern poison as well?
I see that, yes.
Which is
yeah,
injury.
good poison damage. Wyvern poison, yes. So you now have 400 gold pieces worth of credit remaining.
Okay. Ingested midnight tears. Oh, it's too expensive. What's just like a cheap injury poison? Like maybe drought. What's drought poison do?
So drought poison is particular in that it will make people go to sleep, failing their Constitution saving throw.
Okay, let me do... Drought poison is 200, so I'll do 2 things of drought poison then.
I'm going to roll that you can keep reusing your poisons. I think there is a rule on how to apply poison, and it lasts for a minute. I'm going to go with that.
Action? Yeah, it's an action.
I'm trying, but
so
how many uses do you get?
Yeah, so I researched this. When you use the action, you get it on your weapon for a minute, or you can apply it to 3 pieces of ammunition.
Brilliant.
And it lasts for a minute until it dries.
Was there anything about how many uses of a poison you have before the stuff is used up?
I did not see anything about that.
Let me look up poison in the adventuring gear. Antidoxin, poison. Okay, you can use the vial to coat 1 slashing up to feet. Applying the poison takes an action. Once applied, the potion retains potency for 1 minute before drying. So I think given the cost, you may reuse the poisons you've gained.
Okay. So then in that case, 1 thing of drow poison, and then how about truth serum. How about 1 thing of truth serum?
Perfect. That uses up all your credit now.
Okay.
So oil of Taggart, drow poison, truth serum, and wyvern poison. Yes.
And how many
brilliant.
uses do you want to say so I can keep track of those?
Okay. So,
You want to like roll or?
that is a nice, fair idea. I will roll a d6 plus 4 for each. So, oil of Taggart. Roll. It's one word. Roll 1d6 plus 4. For oil of Taggart, you have 5 uses. For wyvern poison, you have you have 7 uses of oil wyvern poison. For truth serum, you have 10 uses. And for drow poison, you have 9 uses.
Okay, got it.
Brilliant.
All right. Well, then I will have to consider how I'm going to utilize those to complete my objective. But I think that gives a good several different types of poison that could be useful.
Yes, all of which you can apply to crossbow bolt or to melee weapon, except for ingested and weaved and what have you.
Yep, of course. Okay.
If you have no other business, then you are quietly led out through the front door as Jessamine rips up the small little favor you had beforehand, as she makes sure to burn the ashes, well, the strips of it on the counter, as she brings away the ashes of her bare hand as she goes.
I'm going to turn back to her as I'm leaving, and I'm going to say, one last thing. My group is trying to solve the problem of the death curse. Hopefully we can do it in time and save you. And if we do, I shall return.
She looks at you with interest in particular as she now goes, then please know that if you need anything else from what you saw back there, I will give it to you for half price.
Very good.
And
stay strong until I come back.
Yes, indeed. I don't plan on dying anytime soon. And we'll join the rest of the group now.
Okay.
Okay.
Imagine the kind of questions that the thing was doing.
Okay, sorry. So, pardon me for that. Are people getting quite suspicious about what's going on with the Ranger at this point?
Yeah, that's what I was asking you earlier. Is he just disappearing during these episodes?
So, why don't you say, Mr. Ranger?
Yeah, I just had a couple of items that I had to go pick up for the journey coming up. Things that will help us as we continue to try and solve this death curse.
Fantastic. Let's go talk to the guy and find out what he found out.
Yes, so you go back to Grandmaster Zitembe, back in the Temple of Savras. And when you do, he looks fresh with information. I need something more dramatic now. I need something. No, not the Pink Panther. The Sound of Murloc. What do I have? Arabesque. What's this one? Well, I'm not seeing much in the way of. No, that's not eerie. Well, we're gonna keep to what we've always been using then. No, we'll just shake it up just a little bit. I suck with names. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, Grandmaster Zitembe is there waiting for you as he goes. Ah, yes, the guides have been very informative. Annette is also ready, so once I tell you what I've seen, you may leave with her. So, what the guys have shown me first, they showed me a Zaka Stormfang dragging with tremendous effort the petrified statues from Nangalore of 2 individuals, one half-orc and one cleric, and they are assisted by a dark figure who has brute strength of a bull and resembles that of the undead. They all move with eerie sadness to a dark spot. That spot is a hag known as Mbala, who lives atop the plateau nearest Oralunga. Over there, they bring your friends, and Azaka and Zekra both work now for Mbala, not out of loyalty, but out of payment.
That doesn't sound good.
Your friend Zekra likely owes a life debt, and Azaka has been dragged into it. As for artist Kaimba, he too heads for Oralunga, where he plans to seek out the Naga Sajazmanbaza, as he has questions he seeks to answer. Your journey should lead you to Oralunga and Mbala, but I fear that if you cross Mbala, that while you may gain some friends, your lives may be at risk in the darkness of the blood magic that she controls.
Gasp.
Yeah.
Well,
Le gasp.
that's helpful.
Well, these are places that we're going to already anyway.
All right then. So, you with that being said, Grandfather Zitembe says, these are dark visages that I have seen, though the path should lead to a light of guidance that I believe will help you on your journey.
All right.
But the
so
bard know anything
Let's
about
do it.
Yikes.
Simba?
So what was Bard saying first? Sorry, you were asking something.
Yeah, as a bard, would I know anything about this Simba guy?
Simba?
Kimber. Sorry, Kimber.
Kimbo, I'm not following, but his name is Grandfather Zitembe.
No, I think she means Kimber.
Kimber,
Oh.
sorry, yeah.
You
Yeah,
do...
close enough.
Okay. So because Bardic knowledge, what college do you follow?
Law.
Okay. So I will allow a history check. The identity as a ranger strikes some keys of recognition, but you don't know anything other than that.
Cool.
Anyway, does anybody else have any other business they need to attend to? Musharib, Wintow, and so is Annette.
we're ready to go.
We're ready to go. Let's go.
We're ready to go, and let's go. Very well. With Port Nyanzaru soon behind you, and with the jungles of Chult coming up ahead, you guys make your second expedition to the jungles of Chult. Sindra Sylvain, and maybe a few others all riding on this venture, being the one that hopefully leads to a cure to the death curse. So then, as planned beforehand, Musharib suggested that you guys headed out following the river, and then following the River Taff, head over past Camp Righteous and Camp Vengeance, all the way down that way. Do people keep with that plan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, brilliant. Well then, it's time for the meat and gritty of random encounters. Oh, hang on, I have a macro for this.
Do you want to just maybe like roll like a bunch of days until we get to Camp Righteous?
That is akin to what this macro is. Yes, brilliant. Alright. Ready then. Doop a doop a doop a doop a doop a doop. Boop, boop, bop, bop. Closing all those tabs. And then we want... Oh, and don't forget, you guys now have magic items and silvered weapons in tow. So, and with experience as to what the jungle holds, you guys feel far more confident than you did the first time you guys entered.
Yes, we do. Seasoned veterans.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So then, okay. Oh, so as you begin to make your way down the river, you notice some dwarfs that are akin to Musharib. And Musharib hails it then, and you guys have you camp for the night, as basically you end your day with these dwarfs in tow. Yeah. Yeah. And Musharib basically goes, "Hail, my fellow dwarfs! How fares you?" And the dwarfs all seem like battle-hardened fighters through and through, as they count about yeah, they count 5 in number, as the president of Musharib gives them some interest, as he goes, "These are my allies who are not to be harmed," he warns. And but who speaks Dwarvish?
I do.
Yeah. You pick up conversation that suggests that if they hadn't have seen Musharib, they would have gone into immediate combat with you guys, as they were needing to loot and pillage and kill to get some food and other gears to survive here, as they are basically wild natives. Well, not wild, but they are natives of the jungle that live off the plunders of others. Ooh, sorry. But yeah, because Musharib is with you guys, you hear talk that their problems don't need to last much longer. He promises that with these fellows in tow, that he will take them to Hrakhammer, and they will retake the forge and give these albino dwarfs a new home. That means they can live lawfully again, you know. But
Fine,
yeah,
I'm gonna relay all that information to the party
in
in private, so that particularly the part about them that they normally would have robbed us.
okay, yeah, so sure. Okay, so yeah, so you continue down the river, Soshenstar, and yeah, you're able to make quite a bit of headway now, as a couple of days go where you're not interrupted at all by anything really. Yeah, and then on this day, what happens now? This macro is actually pretty handy. I gotta reference the guy for it. Oh, sweet. Don't be combat, be something friendly. Okay, so are you guys feeling in good spirits right now? Is my question.
Probably. We just left town, so there's a little bit of a morale boost.
Yeah, and with new gear equipped, you guys seem to be having a great time with Musharib and Inet. Inet being quite the sweetheart, just being an absolute polite, decent acolyte who is attentive and helpful, having brought her own food, giving you guys an extra 100 gold pieces for your troubles of taking her along. And all in all, she's just a gem to have with, you know, as she just always is making conversation.
Her away from the ranger.
Oh, right.
I'm not a sexual deviant.
Okay. So, as you keep swimming along, or rather canoeing along, Mr. Ranger seems as though he is splashing his oar purposely to wet the gown that your acolyte is wearing, so that any undergarment is becoming visible. Mr. Ranger, while you believe this is an excellent thing to do, it doesn't. You're not doing this. But nobody else knows that, so everybody can totally blame the Ranger for continuously splashing Annette. Annette takes it in good humor. So how do people react to this?
So wait, so he's not actually splashing her?
Mr. Durandal, you are not really doing this. What you see is that a little ahead of your oar, there is something that is splashing the water purposely to get Annette wet, but it is making it appear as though you're the culprit.
I'll stop rowing for a period.
So when that happens, Musharib turns around and goes, "Oh, what's the holdup over there, Mr. Durandal?"
There seems to be something under the water that's splashing up at us.
Oh, let's take a look. And Musharib just basically puts his head to the water, basically, without fear, as he does so. An unseen force seems to overtip his canoe, to which he and everybody else on that canoe, which is basically, I think, Kithri, the Mystic, and Musharib, all get turned over and splashed in the water. Fortunately, though, nobody is harmed, and everybody grabs hold of the canoe boat, as everybody grabs hold. Musharib takes it as a good laugh, and he chuckles it off as people go to the bankside. And basically, I want to know if anybody is in particularly evil or dour spirits now.
Not really.
No.
So, what happens is that above the felled over canoe boot... why can't I say canal boot? Why can't I say it? I can't say canal boat. Oh my god. Anyway, before you materializes a green fairy dragon. And you reckon this is the little trickster that's been having fun with you. So in your handout, you should be able to see that, but instead of a blue, you see a nice emerald green to him. As the dragon goes, hee hee, I've not got to play with anybody friendly for so long. I've been hoping to find newcomers to come chat with.
What does Vala's guide say?
You get out Dexter, and it says, Fairy Dragon, the subclass of dragon and fairy. A fairy dragon is a cat-sized dragon with butterfly wings. It wears a sharp-toothed grin and expresses its delight by a twitching of its tail, its merriment fading only if attacked. It's invisible tricksters, friendly and bright, sharp of mind, fondness for treasure, baked goods, former sweets. And the color of age, and the color of a dragon, a fairy dragon, represents how old it is, gaining new spells as it matures. So, this being a green dragon, it's between 20 to 30 years old.
Well, I'll play him a little tune.
The dragon loves it. He flies around, and he exhales a warm, fragrant breath that washes over you all as you all enter a state of giddy euphoria, as the fairy dragon, has taken a warm liking to you all. And as you guys
I offer him some of my rations, see if he likes it.
Oh, he does. Though he would say, "Oh, it's nice of you, but I wish you had something like a sweet roll around."
We should give him one of the berries, maybe. Are those berries supposed to be sweet?
Oh yeah, berries are definitely sweet. He would go, "Oh, I would like some berries. Yes, please. That'd be lovely." And so people offer him some berries. He nibbles on them. Nom 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 nom. He's a very happy little fairy dragon right now. When people camp up for the night, he hasn't moved on, as he definitely likes your company, and he's curled up by, he's curled up around some of your shoulders and whatnot. He is taking a liking to Kifri, in fact, because Kifri has a perfect shoulder that others might think would fit a parrot, but instead will fit a fairy dragon instead. And
Awesome. I'll just scratch him under the chin then.
oh, he loves it. His little tail is wagging. And Rocky, Miss Brightheart, has already taken a liking to him as the two tumble and roll around between each other, and it's all pretty happy days, to be honest. As you know, the evening goes a bit lazy and people are resting by the campfire with a few bits of food, the fairy dragon gets talking and says, it's come from the city of Omu. I will play it, and it goes, I've been hoping to talk to somebody nice for ages. I've been shooed around by some evil gargoyles and some snake people that all seem to have gone to the city of Omu. It's been nasty times. I went there once, and it has been hell, honestly.
But Omu's a ruin, from what we've heard.
Oh, it is. But there's a lot going on there. There's some snake people that are sniffing around there, and lots of evil gargoyles. Lots of gargoyles are there. There's a lot going on, and I didn't think to stay around. It all felt very eerie to me. But yeah, they all seem to be watching over the city. Very careful not to let anything get too close to it. Other than myself, of course, because they don't know I'm there.
Oh, it was very clever to sneak through.
Oh, well, thank you
Did you
very
see
much.
any magic going on?
Well, gargoyles are magic. I'm a bit magic. I tell you what, though. I got out of there. I got out of there as soon as I saw the great feathered one.
Oh, that sounds terrifying. Tell me more.
Well, it's a huge giant dinosaur. But it's got these feathers on the back of it that really sprout out, and it doesn't fly. It doesn't fly like me. But whenever that thing came stomping around, everybody got out of the way. It's the top predator there. Nothing takes it on. Not even any Tyrannosaurus Rex. They all just give it a miss because that dude is the big one.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to run into that.
Yeah.
I wonder if there was any undead down there.
Ah,
Or if it
tons.
was just...
Tons! There were even some undead snake people. There was one guy who was an undead snake guy, and he looked really, really bad. He looked really nasty.
Yeah, I'm not surprised you got out of there.
Oh, well, I was just popping by because the place looked pretty enough, or it used to be. It's huge, you know, huge. But, yeah, it has kind of gone to shit now.
Well, thank you for the information.
Oh, hey, I got more. I'll tell you a bit more if you give me a few more berries.
Yeah,
Easy
I'll have
enough.
some berries to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just happy to keep you on a limb when it comes to this, as he will happily keep telling you about a bunch of stuff. In fact, he goes on to say, have you explored much of Chult lately?
Just the eastern side a little bit.
Ah, well. Did you know that you're really close by a tribe of battery goblins?
No, I didn't. Where are they?
Ah, well, they're over here. They got a little place called Yellark, and I will display that for you now.
I wonder if the goblins have been raiding adventurers and hoarding their loot.
Oh, of course, goblins do that all the time. They got a special sort of thing going on. Yeah, they got this place where they oh, hang on, I'm just reading a bit. Oh yeah, so they kind of fly themselves about quite quickly, you know. They got this like slingshot catapult. It's really, really cool. They just pick up their village all within like a big net, and then they just sort of throw that net out. They fly across, and wherever they land is their new home.
That's crazy.
Oh, they're crazy dudes. They look awesome though.
Yeah, I'd like to see that actually.
They got these crazy masks, but they are there. There's at least 40 of them live there. There's at least 24 you gotta worry about, and then the rest are children.
24 is a lot.
Ah, you're strong adventurers. Nothing can take you out. Nothing.
I also noticed we're camping up on Camp Righteous. Do you know anything about that?
Ooh, I think I spied on them a little bit. Let me just check my own noggin. I'm sure I got... Well, actually, hang on. You got any... Come on, some of you's gotta have a sweet roll you can give me.
I don't have a sweet roll, but I've got some perfume if you want a little spray of that.
Ooh! Oh, let me have a sniff. Let me have a sniff of the perfume. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'll give him a little squirt.
Oh, he flutters around and he melts into that. Oh, that smells lovely. That does. Little bit of spark. Sorry, he slowly goes more Cockney, and I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so he goes out to Camp Righteous. They had a few people from I don't know what they're called, but they got like this blue gauntlet on their like symbols and whatnot. They're foreigners, but they came out here to deal with some stuff. I'm not sure, but they all made a home in the House of the Crocodile. It's a big shrine with a huge crocodile like face on top of a statue, and inside there's like these puzzles. But other than that, I didn't stay around too long. I think there's some goblins there now, or some undead. I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
Does any of that sound familiar to my character?
So, Sylvan, is that you talking?
It's Willem, the sorcerer.
Oh, right. So, no. Because I don't believe you're a member of the Order of the Gauntlet.
No, I'm not.
No. Then, yeah, you that doesn't ring a bell to you. But they do say... Yeah, go on. Go on.
I was just going to say, how about anybody else?
Not me.
Nope.
I wouldn't know.
No, not me.
Ah, that's fair enough. Not to worry. I'm sure I got something else I can tell you about. I know a lot.
How about Mbala?
Yeek. I keep away from Mbala. She might find me and eat me. Yeek. She's got a bunch of these flying monkeys that go around and hunt food down for her. She's a pretty creepy lady.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
No.
Have you ever been to Oralunga or Rackhammer?
Oh, I don't think I've been to Rackhammer. Too dark and too full of fire things. No. I didn't go that way. But Oralunga. No, I couldn't. When I got close, like when I flew in, I saw like there was an alcove that I thought, oh, I could go in there and see what's up there. And when I tried to fly up there, it was the strangest thing. I felt all turned around, and I ended up back at the ground. I tried again, and I just kept being in random places, and every time I got back, I got sent away. So I just gave up there. It's a huge black obelisk with lots of vines on it and all these several steps. I think I saw one of the little spirit dude. No, it's not spirit dudes. Spirit dudes. That's right. What were they called again? I forget what the little spirit.
I know we got a handout at one point about him.
The Chwingas?
Thank you, the Chwingas. Yeah, I saw a couple of Chwingas acting all weird near there, so maybe they like it. I don't know. Though I tell you, something else that was weird. When I left there, and you know, between all my other adventuring I do, I did see like a crazy statue. Yeah, it was weird. There was this 8-foot-tall statue. It looked like a human with these bronze fists and iron joints, and I had an adamantine breastplate and an iron helm with slits for eyes. When I peeked in really carefully, though, I didn't see anything, but I saw lots of offerings by it, and it was over here. Whoops! I moved it to map layer, so you guys can't actually see that. Yeah, well, I just fucked up a whole ton of things. Okay, yeah. Yeah. GM layer. Click that. And token layer. Yeah, there we go. And and the little dude says, "It was over there."
Wow, you're quite the explorer.
I know. I'm the best one.
Have you ever perhaps found anything that's really valuable, or magical items, or anywhere in your journeys?
Why, yes, I have.
Could you tell us where? And in exchange, I can give you a mug of honey.
Ooh, that sounds lovely. Okay then. And basically, he pulls out the immovable rod from one of your pieces of equipment. So do I win the honey?
Oh, that was pretty smart.
Yes. It's free anyway. I use the alchemy jug to pour him a mug.
Oh, he doesn't want the mug. You just pour it out. He just like goes on his back. It's just like, let me have it, and he just like keep decanting the honey out for him as he's just licking away like, yummy, yum, ah, God, I've never had this much honey in my life, ah. He's just having a whale of a time.
Would you like to join us on our adventures?
Yeah, definitely. He says with extreme enthusiasm.
Right on. Fairy Dragon high five.
He gives a little tail smack to your high five. Oh no, he's still gorging himself on honey. Pardon me, that was premature of me.
Alright, maybe we should move on then.
So what do we call him?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh yeah, do you have a name?
A name. I don't have many people that get to call me names, he says with a little bit of a sad tone. As he's like, I guess my name would be but I don't think there's a clear translation for that.
Well, he likes berries.
Sparky.
Call him Blueberry.
Well, I'm
he's
green.
He's green.
Oh, how about Greenberry?
What did the bard call me? I want to hear what the bard called me.
Oh, Sparky.
Ooh, I could be a Sparky. Sure.
You're all shiny.
Yes, I'm super shiny.
Sparky the Brave.
Oh, yay! I love it. You can now add Sparky the Brave, the green fairy dragon, to your allies.
Huzzah!
He will decide whether or not he will join combat or not. Other than that, he will be invisible, and most often just a scout for you guys. I will roleplay him and decide when he is visible or not. Just imagine him as a Cheshire Cat for the time being. But keep in mind, if you're ever harmful to Sparky, he will ditch you in an instant.
Oh, he's too cute to be nasty too.
Yay! Alright then. So, with 50 minutes on the clock, we will continue your journey. So, the next day comes.
What's everybody's thinking? Are we taking any of these side journeys, or are we going straight for our main Mbala?
Yeah.
Straight.
Well, we need to go to Aldani Basin since we brought the alkalite with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. She would appreciate an expert. I mean, she loves the fairy dragon. She loves him. But yeah, he will. They do seem to be. He wants to stick around.
All right. I guess we'll continue following the river down towards Camp Vengeance.
Okay then.
Or we want to check out these two points of interest.
Yeah, that's what I was just asking. I think we're deciding to ignore them for now. Maybe.
What about Camp Righteous? Or are we going to skip that and go straight to Camp Vengeance?
Well, it's a
It's on the
likely
way.
place to camp along the way, so it makes sense to check it out as it is against the river. You basically check it out while you're rowing past it, so you may as well just get out and stretch your legs and whatnot.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
travel
I'm alright
far
with that.
for it. So.
Okay, sweet. Then, yeah. Some things happen that I am not obliged to tell you about. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. This is my noise when I'm thinking stuff out. Into my head. Beepity-boop. Beepity-ba-dap-bap. Beepity-boop. This is my noise when I'm trying to delay.
I'd like to roll an insight check on the DM.
You may. You fail. Yeah. Okay. So then, I'm just checking stuff out. Very well. So, the night comes, and you guys set up camp. The jungle being particularly lovely so far for you guys. Oh. Oh, Shazam. Oh, this is... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, man. I needed a river battle map ready for this. Yikes.
Don't they have a lot of pre-made ones?
No, they do not. They do not have random battle map pre-made.
That's annoying.
And my general hidden source did send me something, but I wasn't happy with how thin the river was, so I denied it, and I have not uploaded it anyway. So we're gonna use Port Nyanzaru that they have very kindly made. So give a small little tip off to the random person who made this for me, as we will use Port Nyanzaru as a place for how you guys are. So so do you guys see this map right now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so forget this boat and forget this other boat. What you guys have is just this rowboat as you're against this side, and instead of all these buildings, you've just got jungle. So I'd like people to assign themselves over there, please, for me. So Kifri, Willem, Brightheart.
So do we bank our canoes somewhere?
Yes, yes. This boat here represents your canoes. And you guys naturally will make yourself comfortable with a bit of a fire. So we will get a bit of a fire going for you. Over where this fountain is. Yes, we'll have a square fire. I like a good square fire. And then we shall pitch up some tents. Because we like a nice square tent. Yes, 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 yes. Pretty straightforward. Some tents for people. Ignore the building there. Yeah. To back. Two back. Two back. And basically you guys set up camp. Oh, and you also need an acolyte for Inet.
And a dwarven guide.
And the dwarven guide, yep.
Yes, Musharib. Mush. I love that I can type the name Mush and I get Musharib, you know? That's just makes me chuckle. Yes, there we go. There's Musharib and Acolyte. Creatures, monsters, humanoids, Acolyte. Yeah, and there she is. So she is keeping with you guys over here. But yeah, people are making themselves comfy. You guys maybe give the fire a little bit of some space or whatever. But yeah, you're just all comfy by the fire. Maybe Carefree goes over here. Yeah. Everybody is all nice and comfy by the campfire. Look at that. Look at it. It's perfectly sized for a whole group like you. How wonderful. Okay, great. So then, night comes, and you guys are all pretty restful. Oh, and of course, you do have your green dragon, but you don't see him. When you ask and call him out, he's like, hello. But when you're not immediately after him for stuff, he keeps himself invisible, and half the time, you don't know if he's there or not. So yeah, does anybody do much with the time right now?
I mean, do we see anything out of the ordinary, or something that looks interesting?
So on the banks of this bit of the river, you don't, and so far you've been having a swell time, you know, with keeping everything, you know, peaceful. You haven't had to fight anything, so your guards are lowered a little bit as you feel like nothing is going to try and catch you guys out while the DM is stalling to the best of his ability because maybe something is going to come out, but he is just trying to get all this stuff up in time. I mean, I'm pretty sure players know the moment they're put onto a battle map.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, somebody tell me what kind of campfire talk we're having right now. Maybe
a
the
strategy session.
What's that?
Maybe
Yeah, we're talking strategy about what our next move's going to be.
Oh, okay, sweet.
And then maybe the bard will play some music.
Oh, I hope so. A bard that won't play music must be killed.
Yeah, I think Kithra will be asking everyone about, you know, any interesting stories they've got from their past. She's always curious.
Does anybody have any interesting stories from their past? Or are you all dull as fuck? Excuse me.
I'll tell her the story about that dire bear I killed.
Whoa, I haven't heard of
That sounds
this.
interesting.
Yeah.
I told you about it when I made the character.
I mean,
And you
probably,
were like,
but it's
"Killed
been a while
dire
ago.
bear?" Yeah. I'll just tell her, like, there was a dire bear and it was threatening some people that I was trying to help, and I killed it. Yep. And now I have a dire bear cloak.
Oh, sweet.
Ah.
Oh, I never noticed that before. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
Kithy's
I'm
going
not
to
wearing
write all
it.
these
I think
stories
I would have
down.
seen it all this time we've been traveling together.
Yeah, I know, right?
Look at 1,000 degrees. I'm not wearing a dire bear cloak.
That's very true.
What about you, Sparky? She'll say to Willem.
Ooh. Alright then. Well, while I was at the Battery Goblin place, I figured I'd play some pranks on them. They weren't really all that friendly and they weren't in a good mood. So I set off their sling trap and that made their whole place move a bit. It used to be somewhere else, but I made their whole camp jump up and fly into the air.
I bet that was very funny.
It was! I laughed myself to death. And then I got brought back again from the death.
We'll have to remember that.
Ah, brilliant. Okay then. Oh, all things settled. As the jungle night definitely seems very calm and comfortable for you guys. While you're like talking around, all comfortable by the fire, you start to feel something a little bit off. Your suspicions were heightened when the DM told you to put yourself in a battle map, but you didn't think much of it then. But now that a little bit of time has passed, you feel as though figures are creeping in the dark night. Why don't you give me a bit of a perception check?
Some good rolls there.
Yes.
Where is it?
Wow, it does not have a stealth, would you believe? Well, you're like a good
On that
stealth.
note, I'm actually at the moment that starts happening, I am going to hide.
I'm not allowing you to make that check because we're still going through perception. So I'm not going to allow you to make a stealth check.
Okay.
Okay. So, Willem and Sylvan, you're both enjoying your stories and whatnot, but for everybody else, you suddenly realize that outside your camp, like literally just outside you, you are within the large encompassing circle of a giant constrictor snake, and you're all eaten.
All right, campaign's over. Sorry, guys.
No, don't worry. This is not its true size, but it has spread out around you guys, and upon being noticed, it will spring out to try and attack you, and we will end the session there.